There's something truly strange and powerful at the heart of quantum physics. It's not just a new theory, it's a fact proven again and again in experiments. And it turns many of our basic beliefs about space, time, and how the world works completely upside down. Here's what it says. When two tiny particles become entangled, they stay connected. It doesn't matter how far apart they are, even if one is here on Earth and the other is on the other side of the galaxy. If something happens to one of them, the other one reacts right away, not with a delay. Instantly. This goes against everything classical science used to tell us. According to the old rules, nothing can go faster than the speed of light. But entangled particles don't seem to care. It's as if distance doesn't exist. It's like time doesn't matter. It suggests that, on a deeper level, everything in the universe is already connected. Now, that's already mind-blowing. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This isn't just about subatomic particles. This might be about you, about us, about consciousness. Quantum physics has revealed that there is no clear line between the person observing something and the thing being observed. Mind and matter are deeply linked. When you observe something, you don't just passively look at it, you actually affect it. In fact, your focus, your attention, plays a role in shaping what becomes real. This leads to a bigger idea. Maybe entanglement doesn't just happen with particles. Maybe our own minds, our awareness, are part of this strange connection. That changes everything. It means that the best version of yourself, the future you who is healed, hope, and living the life you want, might not be something you have to work hard to create from scratch. That version of you may already exist. And more than that, it may already be connected to you, entangled with you. This isn't just a pretty idea. This is grounded in the actual science of quantum physics. When two particles are entangled, they don't act like two separate things anymore. They share a single wave function. In other words, they're part of one united system. If you affect one, the other instantly changes to match, no matter how far apart they are in space. Now imagine that your consciousness, your awareness, your sense of self, isn't locked inside your brain. Imagine instead that it's like a field spread out in space, that is connected to every possible version of you that could exist, every future you across infinite timelines. Every time your inner state shifts, when your thoughts change, your emotions change, your energy changes, you send out a signal into that field. And that signal reaches those other versions of you. This isn't just a metaphor. It's based on real, measurable changes in physics. You are already connected to the version of yourself living the life you dream about. The question is, are you tuned into that version? Are you aligned with it? The quantum field doesn't respond to hard work alone. It doesn't react to how badly you want something or how many times you say it out loud. It responds to coherence. That means your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are all in harmony. Aligned. Speaking the same language. Most people are not in coherence. They think one thing, feel another, and do something completely different. Their energy is mixed. Their signal is fuzzy. So the universe responds in kind, with confusion, delay, and scattered results. But when you bring your mind, heart, and body into alignment, when you become clear, calm, and consistent, something shifts. The field responds, not with magic, but with physics. Possibilities collapse into reality. The timeline where your dream life exists begins to take shape. You don't force it. You tune into it. You match its frequency. This is the real shift. It's not about chasing the life you want like it's far away. It's about realizing that version of you already exists and you just need to sync up with it. Your dream reality isn't something you earn. It's something you access. And the way to access is by matching its signal, its frequency. Have you ever felt like there's a version of you that's more at peace? freer, happier. That's not just your imagination. That's real. That's your field nudging you. It's your entangled future self sending a signal, inviting you to align with it. The way to answer that invitation isn't by trying harder. It's by tuning in deeper. You are not separate from the life you want. You are already connected to it. And the quantum field is always listening. We've been taught to believe that the mind is just a product of the brain, a bunch of electrical signals firing between neurons. But more and more, science is showing us something deeper. The mind isn't just locked in your skull. It's a field that stretches out beyond your body. A field that is smart, alive, and part of the quantum universe. That means your thoughts and emotions don't just stay inside your head. They radiate out. They send signals. And those signals shape the probabilities of what happens in your life. When you think and feel something strongly, your brain and heart generate electromagnetic waves. Those waves don't just bounce around inside your body. They move out into the quantum field. They become part of the invisible system that decides which version of reality takes form. Some scientists call this broadcasting a signal. And it's not just philosophy, it's also biology. When your thoughts and emotions are aligned, when your brain and heart are in sync, you create a strong, organized signal. And the field responds to that. Coherence brings clarity, and clarity is what causes change. When you're stressed, anxious, or full of doubt, your signal gets messy. Your brain is running in high alert mode, and your energy is scattered. That makes it hard to connect with the field. But when you slow down, when you drop into calm, focused states like meditation or deep presence, your brain starts to sync up. Your heart and brain come into harmony. And in that state, you become powerful. That's when new possibilities open up. The field doesn't punish or reward. It simply mirrors back the signal you send. If you're sending confusion, you get confusion. If you're sending coherence, you get clarity. So the question becomes, what signal are you sending right now? Are your thoughts, feelings, and actions aligned? Or are they working against each other? When you try to manifest something you don't truly believe in, or when you repeat affirmations that your body doesn't trust, you create inner conflict. And that conflict creates interference. Interference is the enemy of entanglement. It breaks the signal. It scrambles your connection. But when your signal becomes pure, when you believe what you think, feel what you say, and act from a place of peace, that's when real change happens. The field doesn't just notice. It responds. Possibilities collapse into reality. New timelines open up. Things that seemed far away suddenly arrive. Not because you forced them, but because you finally tuned in to the version of you who was already living that life. This is the big shift we need to make. Stop seeing the future as something you have to chase. Start remembering that it might already exist and you are already entangled with it. Your highest self isn't something far off in the distance. It's a real version of you sending out a signal. The more clearly and consistently you respond, the stronger that connection becomes. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aligned. You don't need to work harder. You need to feel deeper. You don't need to invent the future. You need to receive it. The field is listening. The question is, are you in tune? Most people think of the heart as just a muscle that pumps blood, but there's a lot more going on. Scientists at the HeartMath Institute discovered something fascinating. The heart actually has a strong electromagnetic field, one that's 60 times more powerful than the brain's. And it's not just stuck inside you. This field can be measured several feet outside your body. Even more amazing, that field doesn't just carry physical signals. It carries emotional energy. It's like your heart is broadcasting how you feel into the space around you. When you feel emotions like love, gratitude, or trust, your heart starts to beat in a steady, smooth rhythm. Scientists call this coherence. In that state, your heart and brain start working together, syncing up like a team. When they're in harmony, they send out a powerful, clear signal into the world. This isn't some mystical fantasy. It's real, and it's measurable. You're sending out energy all the time, and that energy affects not only your body, but everything around you, including the invisible quantum field that connects all things. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. If your heart and brain can send out such strong signals, what else can your body do? Think of your entire nervous system, the network of your brain, spine, and nerves, as a kind of antenna. The more coherent your inner state is, the clearer your signal becomes. And this signal doesn't just float around randomly. It connects to certain versions of reality, like tuning into a specific radio station. The stronger and more balanced your signal, the more you lock on to a version of life that matches that energy. This idea isn't just spiritual language. It's based on science, the study of energy, frequency, and wave patterns. Your thoughts and emotions are not private. They're not just inside your head. They are signals being sent out to the universe, and they act like instructions telling reality how to show up. This changes everything. It means your inner state, your beliefs, your feelings, even the sensations in your body aren't just personal. They are creative forces shaping your life. When you enter a truly aligned state where your mind, emotions, and body all agree, you become more than just a person going through life. You become connected to something bigger. You stop feeling so separate. You start receiving insights and ideas that don't come from memory or logic. They seem to come from nowhere. Or maybe it's more accurate to say they come from everywhere, from the field that holds all possibilities. For centuries, mystics have described this experience. They called it awakening, revelation, or divine insight. Carl Jung described something similar as the collective unconscious, a place where all human knowledge and experience exists. Physicist David Bohm called it the implicate order, a flowing unity where everything is connected. Back then, people didn't have the words or tools to explain these things scientifically. But now, with quantum physics and neuroscience, we're starting to understand what they were trying to describe. So what happens when your inner world becomes coherent? When you feel peace, love, trust, not just think about it, but really feel it. Something powerful begins to shift. You don't just feel better. You start attracting better. Life seems to line up. Opportunities appear. People show up at the right time. This isn't magic. It's resonance. Your signal becomes like a magnet, pulling in a reality that matches it. Because in the quantum universe, time isn't a straight line. Every version of your future self already exists as a kind of energy pattern, like a song waiting to be played. The version of you that is peaceful, successful, and fulfilled is already real. The question isn't whether that future exists. The question is, can you become the version of yourself that matches it? Are you sending out the signal that connects to that reality? That's why real change doesn't start with action. It starts with alignment. If your mind wants something, but your heart is afraid, and your body is tense, your signal is scattered. And when the signal is scattered, the field can't respond clearly. You stay stuck in old patterns, not because you're not trying hard enough, but because your energy is out of sync. The observer effect in quantum physics tells us that when we focus our attention on something, we help bring it into form. But observation in this sense isn't just seeing with your eyes. It means bringing your full awareness, your thoughts, your emotions, your intention, your whole self. And this awareness is always broadcasting through your heart, your brain, even your gut. Every time you observe your future with alignment, when you feel it, not just think it, you pull it closer. This leads to a powerful insight. Your brain is not the source of thought. It's more like a radio receiver. Your mind is tuning into different frequencies all the time. Some frequencies are chaotic, worry, fear, doubt. Others are clear, love, peace, creativity. When your system is in coherence, you tune into the higher frequencies. You start receiving ideas, guidance, and knowledge that feel bigger than you. But they are you, or rather, the deeper, connected part of you. So next time you're meditating, visualizing, or just feeling something deeply, and you get an image or message out of nowhere, don't brush it off. You didn't imagine it. You tuned in. Your field aligned for a moment, and you touched a version of yourself that already exists in the field. That's not a fantasy. That's how consciousness works. Your mind isn't trapped in your head. It's the bridge between different realities. And your alignment is the key to walking that bridge. Now let's talk about why most people don't experience this. It's not because they're broken or the universe isn't working. It's because of subconscious programming. Your conscious thoughts, the ones you control, make up only about 5% of your mental activity. The other 95% is running automatically in the background, shaped by your past, your upbringing, your trauma, and your culture. These hidden patterns form your beliefs about what is safe, what is possible, and what you deserve. So even if you say positive affirmations every day, or visualize your dream life, if your subconscious is still holding on to fear or pain, your signal is still unclear. You might want abundance, but deep down, you fear losing it. You might want love, but your body still remembers betrayal. And the quantum field, which responds not to your words, but your energy, mirrors that contradiction. It's like trying to tune into 97.8 FM, but your inner dial keeps jumping between stations. One part of you wants to move forward. Another part is stuck in the past. That inner noise blocks the signal. And when the signal is blocked, the new reality can't form. This is the real reason why so many people feel stuck, even when they do all the right things. They meditate, visualize, say mantras, but the version of themselves doing the work is still tied to an old identity, one shaped by fear, loss, or unworthiness. And you can't create a new life from an old identity. Your identity is a program, a story you've been telling yourself for years, often without realizing it. And unless you update that story, your subconscious will keep running the show. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This is especially true in the quantum field, where your subconscious is the true observer, the one whose energy shapes reality. Your subconscious determines how much good you're willing to receive. It sets your limits for love, money, health, and happiness. Not because it wants to hurt you, but because it's trying to protect you based on old information. It learned what's safe from your earliest experiences. And if those experiences were painful or limited, your subconscious holds onto those limits, even when your conscious mind wants more. This is why the inner work matters so much. Real transformation isn't just about changing your thoughts. It's about changing the source of your thoughts. It's about bringing your nervous system, emotions, and beliefs into harmony. When you do that, your signal becomes clean and clear. And when your signal is clear, the field responds. Your thoughts aren't just thoughts. Your emotions aren't just feelings. They are signals, instructions, keys. Every moment, you are sending a message into the quantum field. And that field, impersonal, powerful, creative, mirrors back whatever you send. If you want to change your life, start by changing your signal. Get your heart and brain in sync. Calm your nervous system. Align your emotions with your vision. And watch how the world shifts around you. Because in the end, the field doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. And when what you are is clear, coherent, and aligned, the possibilities are limitless. Your body isn't just made of skin, muscles, and bones. It holds more than that. It's a storage space, like a library, filled with all your memories, not just the happy ones, but also the heavy ones. Every time you ignored your feelings, held back tears, or pushed away your pain, it didn't just disappear. It settled into your body. It shaped your posture, your breathing, the way you carry stress in your shoulders or tension in your stomach. Over time, this becomes your default setting. It becomes the silent soundtrack of your life. You might wake up one day and say, I'm ready for something new. I want to receive love, success, peace. But deep down, your body still remembers the times it didn't feel safe, the times it was hurt, the moments it had to fight, run, or freeze just to survive. So while your words say yes, your energy still says no. And that energy? That's what the world responds to. Instead of getting what you want, you get more waiting, more frustration, more reasons to doubt. And often, you think it's your fault. You wonder, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't this working for me? You start to believe maybe you're broken. Maybe you're just not meant to be happy or successful. So you try harder. You force it. You push yourself into being more positive, more grateful, more disciplined. But the harder you push, the more tired you become. And nothing really changes. This struggle isn't because you're lazy or broken. It's not because you're not spiritual enough or motivated enough. It's because there's a part of you still stuck in an old story. A survival story. A story where it wasn't safe to shine, where good things didn't last, where love meant pain, or where success brought loss. That story is still playing in the background, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Let me share a story. There was a man who did everything right. He read the books, followed the methods, created a vision board, said affirmations every morning, meditated daily. He believed in manifestation, and he believed in himself. But still, nothing in his life changed. He kept facing the same blocks, the same struggles, the same stuck feeling. Until one day, instead of asking, why isn't this working? He asked something deeper. What part of me is still scared to receive? That one question opened something inside him. A memory surfaced. Years ago, he had finally reached a goal he worked hard for. He felt on top of the world. But not long after, everything fell apart. He lost what he gained. He was judged, betrayed, hurt. And without realizing it, he made a vow to protect himself. When I receive, I lose. When I shine, I suffer. That belief settled into his nervous system. It became the signal he sent out, even when he was saying all the right words. Because the universe, the quantum field, doesn't respond to words alone. It responds to frequency. It picks up on your truth, not your surface, but your source. And until you change the signal at that source, the same patterns keep showing up. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about waking up to what's really happening beneath the surface. You are not your past. You are not your trauma. You are not even your thoughts. You are a being of energy, of light, and your energy can be tuned. Just like a radio, you can shift your station and connect to something completely different. The amazing part is, it's never too late. You're not stuck forever. You haven't missed your chance. You're just tangled up in a version of yourself that's ready to be released. You're living by a story that no longer fits who you are becoming. And the shift doesn't start with pushing harder. It begins by becoming softer, by helping your body feel safe again, by gently updating the old code that's been running your life. And it starts with this truth. The future you want isn't far away. It's already here. But to meet it, you need to become the version of you who can hold it. So take a deep breath and slow down for a moment. Close your eyes and picture the version of you who already has what you're seeking. They're not perfect, but they're calm, grounded, confident. They move through life with ease. They trust the process. They don't chase, beg, or hustle for what they want. They attract it because their energy matches it. See them clearly in your mind. Where are they? What does their world look like? How do they speak? How do they move through the day? Not just what they do, but how they feel. Now, start to feel like them. Imagine breathing like they would breathe. Walk like they would walk. Speak from the heart like they would. Let that feeling fill you. This isn't just a game. This is how transformation works. When your nervous system begins to feel a new emotion, when your imagination is vivid and real, your brain doesn't know the difference between memory and vision. It starts rewiring itself. Your energy shifts. Your field starts to match the new signal. This is not wishful thinking. This is biology. This is energy. This is quantum science. You're not faking anything. You're remembering who you really are underneath all the noise. Stay in that feeling for as long as you can, even if it's just for a minute. Let it soak in. Let your body begin to trust that it's safe to feel peace, to feel joy, to receive love. Let it become familiar. Because here's the real key. The universe doesn't respond to effort. It responds to being. It doesn't listen to your hopes or even your goals. It listens to the signal you emit every moment. That signal is your identity, your energetic truth. And you change your reality not by chasing a new life, but by becoming the version of you who already lives it. It doesn't take a huge leap. Sometimes the most powerful change comes from the smallest shifts, standing taller, breathing deeper, speaking more kindly to yourself. That's how the new story begins to settle in. That's how the old one begins to dissolve. And when you feel ready, mark this shift. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. Say it out loud or write it down. I am entangled. That means I'm no longer trapped in my past story. I'm connected now to my true path. I am aligned with the version of me that's whole, powerful, and free. This is more than an idea. It's a return. A return to the self you were before the world told you who to be. Before the pain, the fear, the self-doubt. That self is still here, still waiting for you to come home. And when you touch that frequency, even briefly, the field around you shifts. People respond differently. Opportunities start to appear. Life feels less like a fight and more like a flow. You don't need to earn this. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to let yourself feel it. Let your nervous system know it's safe now. It's okay to receive. It's okay to grow. It's okay to shine. That's the real work. Not thinking your way into change, but feeling your way back into truth. Not trying to fix who you are, but remembering who you've always been. You're not starting from scratch. You're not faking it until you make it. You're collapsing the gap between your current self and your true self. And every time you tune into that version, even for a breath or a moment, your energy gets stronger. Your signal gets clearer. Your future begins to arrive, not with a bang, but with a soft unfolding. Imagine for a moment that every version of you, whether rich or struggling, confident or insecure, healed or still hurting, already exists somewhere. It's not just a dream or fantasy. In the world of quantum physics, all of these versions are like energy patterns waiting to be chosen. You're not creating them from nothing. They already exist in a space of possibilities. And which version becomes real in your life depends on one thing: alignment. These possibilities aren't just frozen pictures. They are alive, constantly moving, constantly shifting. Think of them as waves of energy, always available, always present. You don't wish them into existence. You tune into them. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions match the energy of one of these versions, you experience that version. It becomes real for you, not someday, but the moment you match it. This isn't just some spiritual idea. It's actually grounded in science, specifically quantum physics. There's a concept called the observer effect, which means that what you see and experience changes based on how you show up. Your attention, your beliefs, your energy, they don't just influence what happens. They create what happens. You're not just watching life. You're shaping it by who you're being in every moment. So the real question isn't, how do I reach my dream life? Instead, it's, how do I become the version of me who already lives that dream life? That small shift changes everything. It changes how you carry yourself. It changes how you think when no one is watching. It even changes what you say yes or no to. Because now, you're not chasing something far away. You're stepping into something already real. Here's the beautiful paradox. The more you act like the version of you who has already arrived, the less you feel the need to prove anything. The more you trust that it's already yours, the less desperate you become to get it. And that trust, that calm certainty, sends a powerful signal out into the world. The quantum field, that invisible space of energy and potential, hears it. And it responds quickly and precisely. But let's not pretend it's always easy. Becoming that version of yourself can feel uncomfortable. It's not always light and exciting. Sometimes it feels like grief or confusion. Why? Because you're not just stepping into a new life. You're leaving behind the old one. And everything in you that was designed to survive the past may start to resist the change. That resistance is normal. It's just your system recalibrating. In those quiet moments, when nothing seems to be happening, when you feel unsure, remember this. Your nervous system is adjusting. Your energy is shifting. You're learning that safety doesn't come from repeating old patterns. It comes from trusting what's possible. You're not broken. You're becoming. The future version of you isn't sitting there judging. They're not waiting for you to be better. They're just waiting for you to trust them. And the way you trust them is by walking like them, thinking like them, speaking like them, even when your current life doesn't look like theirs yet. You start aligning not with your history, but with your future. Neville Goddard once said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." He didn't mean force fake emotions. He meant start living as though it's already done. Settle into that version of yourself as your new normal. Let it be your base setting. Let it be your home frequency. When your thoughts, emotions, and habits begin to reflect that future self, your life doesn't change because you forced it to. It changes because you become a match for it. It becomes effortless because you're not pushing anymore. You're attracting from who you truly are. Take a moment and ask yourself, if the life you've been dreaming of was already real, how would you carry yourself today? How would you walk into a room? What would you stop apologizing for? What would you begin to protect, honor, or value more deeply? These aren't just fun questions. They are powerful ways to tune your energy. Each time you choose to act from your future identity, you send out a new signal. And that new signal begins to override your old story. You don't need to prove anything to the universe. The version of you want to become already exists in the field of possibility. You're not convincing anyone. You're simply aligning. When your energy fully matches that version, there's nothing left to manifest. You don't need to chase it. It's already yours. The only thing left is to receive it. So take a breath. Let go of the tension. You don't need to hustle your way there. You just need to tune into it. The journey of becoming isn't a big, dramatic event. It's a quiet, steady return to your truest self. Every moment you choose trust over fear, every moment you choose presence over pressure, you get closer to that reality. And here's the quiet truth. The biggest transformations don't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's just a moment of silence, a feeling of relief, a deep breath where the need to control drops away. That is the moment your energy shifts. That stillness is your signal. It's the proof that something has already changed, even if the outside hasn't caught up yet. Every version of your reality, every success, every shift, every outcome started as a frequency. This version, the one filled with purpose, peace, and joy, is no different. It begins here. It begins in your next breath. It begins in the stillness of now. And even if it doesn't look different yet, something has already started to move. Not from outside you, but from within you. There is a part of you that's always known. A deeper self that's been quietly guiding you, waiting for you to remember. You're not trying to pull in a new life. You're remembering the one that's already calling you. And the way you respond to that call isn't with effort, it's with alignment. And the most powerful alignment comes from silence. Not silence as in nothing happening, but silence as in clarity. The kind of quiet that comes from trusting, not fearing. From knowing, not doubting. From being, not trying. This is what coherence means. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions all hum the same tune, your energy becomes clear. And when your signal is clear, the universe doesn't hesitate. It responds not with delay, but with flow. You don't have to scream for what's already yours. You just have to show up as if it is. So if your life feels quiet right now, if things seem still, don't rush to fill that space. That silence means your field is stabilizing. Your inner world is making space for your new reality to land. And when you stop needing to check if it's working, it starts working even faster. When your imagination becomes your identity, your future doesn't just get closer, it becomes inevitable. You're not chasing something far away anymore. You are becoming the kind of person who lives it without even trying. And that kind of becoming is the most powerful kind. The quantum field responds not to your timeline, but to your tone. It's not listening for your effort. It's tuning in to your essence. So keep tuning, keep softening, keep trusting. The dream you've been working toward isn't far away. It's not even in front of you. It's within you. And if reading this has made you pause, take a deep breath, feel a little more settled, that's your confirmation. That's your inner knowing waking up. You're not just reading words. You're answering a signal. You're aligning with others who are walking this path, not from force or fear, but from presence and trust. You're not becoming someone new. You're remembering who you already are. The real you. The one who doesn't need to prove or chase or perform. The one who already lives the life you desire because they no longer doubt they're worthy of it. So here's your quiet reminder. You are not calling in a new reality. You are collapsing into the one that has always been calling you. And the only thing you need to do now is allow it. Let go of the need to earn it. Let go of the need to struggle for it. Instead, soften, trust, align. Because when you truly become the version of you who already has it, the rest of your world will shift around you. Not through pressure, but through peace. Not with force, but with ease. And that is how your true timeline finds you.